I've given my statements at the police station.
But now that we are with you, what did that happened? You beat her or what happened to her?
I did not beat her.
What did you do?
I've given my statements at the police station.
So what did she do?
I found her on top of my 6 years old son in my car. I went to buy something. I came out. So she ran out. It was Regina Wanko, security men that caught her with her punch in the hand, which the police confirmed. And I did not do that to her. I only flogged her. She fell on the gas while trying to escape the cane while I was flogging her. Hit her because I was cooking. Hit her face on the pot, on the pot of food that fell. And that was what transpired.
So the hot pot has crashes and also her vagina that was stitched and other things. How do you intend to?
Okay, sorry. You said she
caught her
in your car.
Yes.
You kept the thing and went home and was cooking
before you started beating
her.
It was already night.
Tomorrow
was school. Tomorrow was Tuesday, was school. So I had to cook dinner for my kids to eat.
Okay, so you didn't flog her here. You caught her doing this thing in your car outside.
She ran away. When immediately I saw her, she ran away. It was security, the Regina Wanko security that caught her.
Okay, and we
drove back to the house. We had to
you and her?
Yes, with my kids.
Okay, and you started cooking?
Yes, when I got to my house, first of all, as a mother, I knew that I had to cook for the kids to eat because tomorrow was school. It was night. My kids have to go to school tomorrow. In as much as I knew I was going to flog her, I knew that I was still going to settle the kids that were going to school tomorrow. Yeah, so I kept food on fire. And now told her, I lie down, I'm going to flog you for what she did. Now that.
So how come the hot knife hurts?
There's no hot knife. There's nothing like hot knife.
So what was that? Those sharp objects, those sharp wounds
that gave her the cut all over.
Those sharp cuts.
I said it is my gas. My gas has a big blade, which the police confirmed. My gas, the gas I use in cooking, has a big blade. You see, it has a massive blade. It's big.
So do you keep it on a table, on something, or on the ground?
On the ground.
Okay, you cook on the ground.
I have a four burner gas and I have a single gas.
Was it the blade that gave cut to her vagina, private part?
Someone that sat on the blade.
And you told her to sit there, or she sat there by herself?
She was running. She was escaping from the she didn't do it deliberately. She mistakenly sat on the.
And you did not do anything.
After sitting, she now used her eyes.
She hit her face before she sat on the gas. Remember, there was food on the fire. The food fell down first. The food fell down. She sat on the blade.
Okay, please, madam. At what point did you take her to the hospital?
This thing happened at night.
Okay.
At night, very late, as around 9:10.
So where you caught
her? When did you take her to the hospital?
Like
No. When did she do that?
When was you first committed? Around what time?
Around 3 in the afternoon.
Okay, and you kept it till 9 p.m.
No, because my car. I told you my car spoiled on the road, so I was fixing my car. We were fixing I was on the road, so my car was being fixed on the road. So after my car was fixed, by the time I got to the house, it was already around 9:10.
Okay.
That's what I said. By now 9:10, you couldn't take her to the hospital. You say it was late by 10. If it's your own child,
by 9:10,
you say that 10 is late to go to the hospital.
With such wound.
Number one, when she sustained that wound, there was no electricity light. I didn't see what was on her body.
You didn't see it.
Okay, you were even flogging her without seeing.
I didn't see what was on her body. I didn't see her body. I didn't know she sustained that
level of injury.
After sitting on a gas.
She kept running.
Hello there and welcome to Cannibal Diva Chronicles, where updated the downtrodden with our focus. Today, my topic is a very somber one. It's a story of someone that was very much downtrodden, and this time around is a young 10-year-old girl by the name of Happiness, who was sent to live with a woman by the name of Ada Chukelu Okafor last January, barely 2 months ago, and who happened to have been maltreated and brutalized by her for having apparently, according to this defendant or this Ada Chukwu woman, saying that she had caught her red-handed, fondling the private part of her son while giving him a bath. And because of this Miss Adachukwu, who happens to be a barrister, pounced on this 10-year-old happiness and beat her to a pulp. After which she put a hot iron that's used to iron clothing items on the hot burning stove for it to get even hotter, and then she applied it directly to her bare skin, all over her face, all over her trunk, and her legs and arms were scalded and burnt. First to second and third degree burns were sustained by this young girl. After which point, it didn't end there. The attack to this young girl did not stop there. She went ahead and put a hot knife on the stove and inserted it way deep into her private part, causing her very much internal injuries as well as external injuries. After she had done this woman, who acted very demonic, I must say, then chased this young girl naked, bare naked, onto the streets after burning up her clothes and setting her clothes aflame. She sent her out of her house naked. She called the middleman, who happened to be the guarantor that brought her to the house, and threatened them after she had asked them to pick up this child. According to Nezeville, which is a channel which I would implore you to watch if you want to know more about this story in detail. She sent this girl out and threatened one of the people who were involved in bringing this girl to her home from the village area, because this young girl was brought in to work as a housemaid to take care of her 3 children, one who happened to be even older than this 10-year-old girl, who was a maid to her to help her and assist her in the upkeep of the household. The pictures you'll see at the end of this video will show the extent of the external injuries and a little bit of the internal. Some of the internal injuries are hard to show, obviously, but you can see telltale signs of her private area, which had been cut with the knife. It is so sad. Some of these pictures obviously cannot be shown on social media, so we can only show you as much as we're allowed to. But you can tell just from what you see on the pictures and on the videos that this woman traumatized and brutalized and destroyed this girl's skin, not to mention her morale and the internal injuries she suffered. The mental anguish this poor young girl would have experienced cannot be overemphasized. You can't even begin to imagine what this young girl has suffered in the hands of this woman, even before all of this came to light. This Miss Adachukwu Okafor has now garnered the attention, howbeit negative, of the government. The first person that responded to this after the police were called in was the Minister of Women's Affairs, who is now involved fully in the case, and who made a statement which I'll play at the end of this video, saying that she had not wanted to intervene at first because she believed that it would be dealt with suitably before it got to her decks. But seeing that nothing was being done, she decided to put a $2 million bounty hunt on this woman's head, on this Miss Adachukwu's head. Because when Miss Adachukwu found that she was being looked for, she had taken flight. When she realized the bounty had been placed on her head of 2 million naira, which is like 2,000 Canadian dollars, if you want to make that exchange, she had then decided to go to the police station and give herself in. At this point, she's being arraigned. She was arraigned to court, and she pled not guilty. The most recent update is that she's saying that she's not guilty, which of course most criminals say when they get to court. They want to plead not guilty so that it can have the most, I would say, the least amount of punishment possible. She pleaded not guilty to all of the accusations, but she took her son there, her baby. She has a baby. I'm not quite sure how young that baby is, to probably garner the sympathy of the judge, but the judge wasn't having it. The judge asked for the baby to be taken from her hand, and she has been sent to jail until she can officially appear to court to be judged on her crime, because this is a crime against humanity. This young 10-year-old girl, no matter what she did, even if she was guilty of what she's being accused of, she didn't deserve this kind of treatment or abuse. No human being should receive this kind of treatment from someone who becomes the judge, the accuser, and the person that extends the punishment all in one person at once. And the fact that she's 10 years old and she's a minor is so heart-wrenching. At this point, she's in the hospital recuperating from her injuries, her external injuries. No one can say what internal injuries or even the psychological injuries she has suffered, because that might even be worse than what we see with our naked eye. But the good thing, if you can call it that has come out of this is that the government has taken full responsibility for her medical bills. And I believe that her future bills and her upkeep will also be at the hands of the government. Not only the Minister of Women's Affairs is involved at this point, but also the governor of Anambra State is involved, because this all happened in the city of Anambra. And the Minister of Women's Affairs, I applaud her very much for being involved to this extent. And it's so refreshing to see our government take charge where it does matter. The preceding videos will show some of the injuries sustained by this young 10-year-old girl, Happiness, and also the judgment that was meted by the judge, according to Nezeville and according to some other news outlets. This is indeed the story of someone that was really, really downtrodden. And we hope, and I hope fervently, that we as human beings will take a step back to think about how we are hurting our fellow human beings, no matter how young or old. The young shall grow after all, and the old was once young. If we put ourselves in their shoes, we will be able to really see the kind of pain that we ourselves would not want to be meted out or transferred or indeed applied to us as human beings. And therefore, we shouldn't do that to those that we see on a daily basis or those that we encounter in life. I thank you so much for tuning to Cannonball Diva Chronicles. Please continue to show yourselves love out there. And please subscribe and like and follow. I hope you have a blessed week ahead. Take care. And thank you for watching Cannonball Diva Chronicles.